good evening, good day, good night, good day, wherever you are. Morning, noon, night, wherever you're watching. Welcome to THFC, Till I Die, your home at Tottenham, past, present, and a very, very confusing, happy, sad. Philip, how would you describe it?
All of those, yeah.
Yeah. And as you can see, we've stuck in, me and Philip have actually broken to the Tottenham Hotspur press room. So this is where we are tonight. We're in the press room tonight. Philip's just been dancing around with Postecoglou, saying, giving them a dressing down, really, telling them who to buy. I've kidnapped Harry Kane, and he won't be going anywhere near Germany or France. So yeah, so me and Philip's Mission Impossible has worked. Now watch the guards come running in, Philip, through your back door.
Yeah, I can see that. I better go and lock it.
It'll be Hawaii 5-0, the FBI. Get down, get down, get down.
More like the swing.
Oh, dear. Right. How are you anyway, Philip? You've had a bit of a busy day, sir.
Yeah, I've been on the road since 9 o'clock this morning. I was at my youngest granddaughter's first birthday party. Real wild fair, that really was. And yes, I'm just back in 10 minutes ago, literally. I was up in Dublin.
Yeah, a lot happening today in the world of Harry Kane Football Club, as we like to call it. A lot has actually come out of what it is. So, Philip, look, what have you heard today? So, what have you heard and what have you read, and what do you think about this meeting was put back, wasn't it? And we're going to start on that very quickly.
What I've heard today, that was mostly to do with Spider-Man, Batman, and toys like that for my 4-year-old grandson. But anyway, yeah, I mean, what I've heard is the meeting was put back to next week. Now, you can take that two ways. One, Daniel Levy is playing hardball. And secondly, maybe he's trying to give him more time for Harry Kane to sign the contract. Take more, trying to persuade Harry to stay. So it's hard to know, really. I believe that Bayern had a private plane booked and all to fly in this morning, and it was cancelled last night. So the meeting will still take place. I don't know, really. I mean, I'd love to have a crystal ball to know what's going on there, but there's some sort of skullduggery going on, or some sort of, I don't know, playing the odds to see what. Hopefully, it comes out for a good result for us, but I'm still of the opinion Harry Kane's going to Bayern Munich.
Well, I do have a poll going, Philip. Where do you think Harry Kane will be next season? Tottenham, PSG, Manchester United, and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, 86%. Manchester United, zilch. PSG, 14%. And Tottenham Hotspur, near par, if you're doing Eurovision. But anyway, that is the latest breaking news. Actually, on the meeting was called off, Philip. So, look, let's go into the chat. See who's joining us on this Friday evening at 10:20. God knows why you're watching us. You should be in the pub. Big up to Liddy White Lane. Big you all up. Big up to Neil Kane as well. Big up, Kane. Neil, how you doing? The one and only Mr. Carl Simpson. Good evening, guys, and everyone in the chat. Now, behave yourself now today, Carl. Tonight.
Don't, Carl. Don't.
Yeah, we know it's 10:20. You probably had a few beers now, so behave yourself. And he says, everyone smash a like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Yeah. Big up to Hot God 10. He says, it wouldn't allow me to click on buying. Rigged. LOL. Good evening, everyone. I don't know why it didn't allow you to. Anyway, buying, winning, buying.
Anybody clicking on the Bayern Munich site from the UK is banned.
Yeah. This fella from THFC I don't know who this is. He keeps coming in.
He keeps cropping up. I think we'll have to bar him.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, and he's talking to Hot God 10 now as well. So God knows him and Hot God 10 now.
That's me. No, that's me. I'm trying to remember. Hot God was saying he's coming over to Dublin, and I'm going to give him some tips. I just asked him to send me his email so I can tell him where to go, where not to go.
Yeah, he did say where do you want him to post the email?
I went back to him. I replied to him there.
Okay. Okay. Grand. We have Ollie from Sweden. Big up. It says, hi, boys. Nighttime here in Sweden. Big up, Ollie. We've got Meta Football TV. Evening, lads. Big up Meta Football. Who else we've got? And then it's just Carl. It says, it's after 10 p.m. I'm in over 18s. Oh, Lord Jesus. We're in for fun tonight. Now, well, it is about Harry Kane tonight. Well, a bit
Volume 97.
Yeah. So, look, I'm going to start with this, Philip. With Man United and PSG now joining the race, can you see Harry Kane going to Manchester or France? Now, why I asked this question was, can you see him going to either, or do you think it was a ploy to get Bayern Munich to pay the money Levy wants Bayern Munich to pay?
Do you want a quick answer to that? No and yes.
Yeah, I put a lot of work into this show, Philip. No.
I'm just trying to keep things simple here. No, he won't be going to Manchester or France. And yes, it is a ploy to get the Bayern Munich up the price.
You know, look, we all know PSG can buy anyone. They'll be serious now. PSG can buy anyone they want to. Do you think they... Yeah. Now, we know also Man United have to sell players to get to the 100 million. But PSG came in to Levy and Bayern Munich both with 100 million. What do you think he'd do?
Well, I think he'd... Okay, if PSG and Bayern Munich came in with equal offers, right, he would leave it up to Harry Kane to decide. Because it doesn't really matter to Spurs where he goes to either of those two clubs. They're outside the Premier League. Spurs get the money. They don't care. It's up to Harry Kane. Now, if I was Harry Kane, I would run a mile from PSG. I really would. I would go to Bayern Munich all day long. And I think PSG are a team built on sand, built on Arab money, built on the dressing room. If you took the egos out of the dressing room, the roof would fall off it. They're so full. You know, so no, Bayern Munich for me all day long. Even though I don't want them to go, but that's where I would send them if it came down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah. Well, Philip, it is after 10 o'clock. You can go a bit more now. You know, you're not done by. Yeah, you're not done by.
You might regret that.
Yeah,
you might regret that.
You know, we've got the Kylian Mbappe thing happening out at PSG.
Yeah,
and he's supposed to be going to the Saudi Pro League.
He says he doesn't want to now. You don't know what he wants. You don't know what he wants.
And apparently they tried talking to Kane's representatives as well about going there. If Kane went there, I think he'd be crazy. A happy birthday to Harry Kane, by the way. He's 30 today.
Yeah.
He's now reached the mile of 30. He's all downhill from now, Harry. That's it. Downhill. Straight downhill now. That's it. Finished. I mean, Philip's 90 and he looks well for his age, so very play.
Don't I? Yeah, next thing Harry Kane will be getting from the government is his bus pass. So, he's actually he's the same. Actually, he's the same birthday as my granddaughter, which is nice, you know. Yeah, but no, now they could have called her Harald or something. Harriet.
Harriet. Listen, though, we're trying to do a serious show here. That's funny, actually. Look, but Manchester United, does that throw a spanner in the works for you any way, shape, or form? Or like we broke the news last night that you know they are going to put in £100 million bid. Does that throw the spanner in the works for your opinion?
It puts Daniel Levy under horrendous pressure because if he thinks he's unpopular with the Spurs fans now, you ain't seen nothing yet. If he sells Harry Kane to Manchester United, there will be an absolute civil war. So that's why I think this is probably why he's trying to get Bayern Munich to up the ante to at least match any bid that United bring in. I mean, I would not be a bit surprised if Bayern Munich were 5 or 10 million short of Man United, he'd still sell to Bayern Munich because it gets him off the hook basically from next season. Harry Kane, second game. Well, it doesn't get him off the hook because, I mean, there's always going to be people complaining that we sold him in the first place. But look at the scenario. Harry Kane comes back to the Spurs Stadium, second game of the season, and scores a hat-trick. What is that going to do for our morale? What's that going to do for our...
Teddy Sheringham did that, but he missed the penalty, I think, on his return.
Yeah, but this is different. This is Harry Kane. This is a record goal scorer coming back. That's the problem, you know.
Is it a bit
so
like
I hope we don't come to that, though.
No. Is it a bit like Jimmy Greaves coming back with West Ham? And his first
he scored when he came back. Jimmy Greaves scored against Tottenham. He didn't celebrate, obviously.
No, but is it that same sort of scenario that
it's 10 times worse? 10 times worse. Really? Because when Jimmy Greaves came back, right? Jimmy Greaves left as a make weight in a transfer that brought Martin Peters in, right? Harry Kane is going as a star-studded, record-breaking £100 million transfer to another Premiership club who's one of our rivals. And I think it'll be plus the fact that Jimmy Greaves did it in virtually no publicity because there was no social media back in those days. Harry Kane comes back to score at Tottenham the second game of the season for Man United, you will never, ever hear the end of it. It'll be broadcast worldwide for days.
But do you think also family might have something to do with it, Philip?
Maybe they will, yeah, possibly, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things we have no idea what's going on. No, we really don't. The wife could turn around and says, "It's grim up north. I'm not moving up there with a bite the heads off whippets. You know, I'm not going up there. I want to stay in London. You know." So there could be families. It could be families. She doesn't want to go to France because he eats snails.
Yeah. See, let him off the leash, and he's on his way.
What's it eat in Germany? Schnitzengrubels. No,
sausages. Big ones, big long ones.
What's the lovely dessert you get? Strudel. Oh, I love strudel. Strudel's nice.
Strudel.
Yeah, no, Germany for me. Germany.
Yeah. Well, Bayern Munich are winning the poll at the moment. 80% for Bayern Munich and 10% each for Tottenham, PSG, and poor Man United are getting nothing. So I wonder if Colin has
should be.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I mentioned this to a Man United friend of mine this morning, and he was horrified. They don't want Harry Kane. They'd rather have one of this young lad, Hunland, whatever you call him.
Colin keeps coming into the chat and saying the same thing, Philip.
I know. He's not alone. He's not alone. Although I think if Harry came went, they'd probably all welcome him with open arms. Because let's face it, they're the human lamppost playing up front for them last season. Weghorst.
Carl Simpson said today he said every Premier League team has been slagging him off for years, Philip. Now they're falling over themselves to get him. You know, I'm surprised Newcastle haven't.
Yeah, the hypocrisy is staggering. The only club worse than Manchester United for Harry Kane to go to would be Liverpool. The Liverpool keep social media going for weeks with things about Harry Kane every time we play them. So there is a lot of hypocrisy going around there. You know, it'll all be forgotten about. You know, once if he signs them, which he won't. So it's hypothetical anyway.
Well, we don't know. Anyway, Harry Kane at 30. Spurs striker's future uncertain as Bayern plan transfer talks. Former Tottenham striker Teddy Sheringham said, Philip, that he believes Harry Kane should not consider a move to Bayern Munich in his prime. Meanwhile, Kane has also been linked with a move to Paris to PSG this summer, where Kylian Mbappé possibly set to leave the French champions. At the other end of the pitch, Spurs are in the market for a new defender as a new manager, Ange Postecoglou, seeks to strengthen his backline. Now, Philip, look, we know we need central defenders, right? We desperately need central defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Will this be used? Will the Kane money be used for central defenders? And do you think that's why there's been a hold up in getting central defenders?
I don't honestly know, because I mean, let's face it, when you buy a player for 15, 20 million, you don't pay the whole 20 million there and then.
No.
You pay a quarter of it or a third of it or something. So, geez, we haven't got the money for that. I think we're really in trouble. I'm just wondering, is Teddy Sheringham doing a bit of a PR job for Man United there in that thing?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It looks like it to me, like, you know, don't go to Bayern Munich, come to Man United. So, but exactly, of course. Now, the money does come in for, like, what I would like to see is, right, I know we're looking at Van der Ven and Tasoba, right? I'll be very happy to see those two at the club, right? If we got 100 million for Harry Kane, I think we should be moving slightly up the scale and going even. That'd be my opinion, because it is the weak link in the team. It's the weakest part we have, and the stronger the player we put in, the better for our hopes next season. You know, preferably by, like, I'll tell you who I would buy: Eric Laporte from Manchester City.
Do you know what?
A proven baller in the Premier League, and he wouldn't cost more than about 30 million. You know, that's the type of player we should be going for.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing it. What do you reckon to Longley, Philip? Look, I keep saying him. I think he'd be good at us. I think Ange might get a player out of him. Or do you think, no, leave him where he is?
No, my feelings on Longley are, if we get two stellar centre-backs in, right, bring him in as a backup. Because let's face it, centre-backs can get injured. No, in our luck, they probably both get injured in the first game. I mean, we need someone that can come in as a backup. We don't want to have to bring in Eric Dyer or Sanchez as the backup. We need to have someone that can actually play football.
Yeah.
And that's Longley for me. Not as a first choice. You know, we get that straight. Not as a first choice, but certainly as a squad player.
Yeah, I think Lee Richards here makes a very, very good point here. Big difference between Sir Jimmy Greaves and Kane. Jimmy never wanted to leave Spurs. By the looks of things, Kane can't wait to get away. Do you know what, Philip? I'm getting that same sort of feeling that he's doing all he can to get away, where Jimmy Greaves never wanted to leave Spurs.
Jimmy Greaves leaving Spurs was the beginning of the end for Jimmy Greaves. He descended into alcoholism and all directly resulting in leaving Tottenham. It was a horrible move for him. He didn't want to go. Bill Nicholson brought in Martin Peters, and Jimmy went on a spiral downward from that on until he got himself back on track, fair dues to him. But Harry Kane, without saying it directly, is giving the impression through his agents or his brother or whatever that yes, he wants to go. Like the body language and everything, the body language of him on that tour now didn't impress me at all. I got the feeling he said this. I would have thought that for his last swan song with Tottenham, he might have put a bit more effort into it, but he didn't really.
Now, look, we are going to talk about the Asian tour tomorrow. You, myself, and Mr. Dave Harris on the podcast. We're on at 9 tomorrow evening. We're looking forward to that, actually. We might come into the press room again, and we might actually just venture out to the stadium. Who knows? Just very quickly, I want to give a massive thanks to Lazy 8 Nick for giving us all new stuff for the new season.
Absolutely.
New tools for thumbnails, backgrounds, and we're now redesigning our scoreboard for the watch-alongs. And look, absolutely brilliant. Can't wait. So I'm really, really grateful. You and me both are, aren't we, Philip? And I know you.
Look at the background we're working against today. Now that's pure class. Yeah. It's beautiful. It really is.
It is.
But we're not really in the Tottenham Hotspur press room. Not really.
Don't tell them that.
Don't tell Dermot.
Yeah. Dermot's a bit away with the fairies, isn't he? Yeah. Dermot's a bit. No, he's not. Anyway, now Philip. Look, all right, we're getting to that question in a minute. Look. I want to bring up another bit of news here, right? It's all because it's Harry Kane talks, of course. Now, The Guardian, this was the headline now from The Guardian. The report, Tottenham will use Harry Kane talks to try and sign Bayern Munich starlet. Now, this has come from The Guardian and The Telegraph. Have both reported that Tottenham are now interested in Bayern Munich starlet Matetas. Tel Amest talks about Harry Kane. The Guardian claimed that Spurs are understood to like the 18-year-old attacker, although Thomas Tuchel intends to keep the youngster for the season unless something major changes. Now, Philip, would you, if Bayern Munich wanted to buy Harry Kane, or just say if he does go to Bayern Munich or say PSG, would you want a defender within that deal as a part exchange plus cash for Harry Kane?
No, I think actually I would. If I tell you, if we can get hold of this Matthias Tell fella, I'd take him. He's an absolute baller. Problem is, Tuchel knows that and doesn't want to lose him. But on the upside, Daniel Levy, being the master negotiator that he is, could turn around to Bayern Munich and says, "Right, I'll let you have Harry Kane for 70 million, but we want Matthias Tell as well as part of the deal. That's it, non-negotiable. Take it or leave it. If you don't accept that, we're not selling him to you." That might work. That might just work because that guy is good. That guy is so good.
And also, David Clark puts here, and it's a good point from David Clark, Levy wants a buyback clause if Kane goes to Bayern.
Oh, yeah, I've been saying that for a few days. There has to be a buyback clause in it.
Has to be. Yeah. Has to be. What do you reckon the buyback clause would be? 25
3 years. Plus, 25. Yeah, about 25 million,
Yeah,
you depreciate quicker when you're over 30.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 25 million for Harry Kane. But look, that is the latest. That's from The Guardian and The Telegraph, by the way. Meta Football is saying 50 million plus Tell and Pavard.
Well, yeah, well, that's another option. If we get Pavard's a good player as well. Very good. French international, very good. I think he scored against Ireland this season, didn't he? Wasn't he the guy who scored the winning goal against Ireland?
He did. Yeah. We won't talk about
that. No, we'll not mention that, but we're not holding against them either. But so that wouldn't be bad. I mean, you're talking 100 million there between the total of those three.
Big up Audie and Aston. He says, "Evening, lads. What's the crack?" Well, the crack is Philip's back from doing his run from up to Dublin and back again. Trying to find his cymbals and his drum kit. Had no luck. Mary went to the party and Philip just went looking for his drums. So there you go. That's the crack from
Yes,
Philip and
I didn't
me.
find
I
any.
just been chilling, cooked lasagna help cook lasagna for dinner tonight, and just chilled out and watched a bit of Criminal Minds, and then come do this lovely show with Philip. So yeah, I've had a nice evening actually.
What better
Go
way
back
to spend a Friday evening?
Yeah, I'll go back to watch the rest of the episode now. Put it on pause. Me and Derv will love watching like Criminal Minds and CSI and all them sort of programs.
Yeah, I like those too. But you know what I watched last night, and I recommend anyone that haven't seen it. It's an old film. It's made in 2004. It's Downfall. It's about the last days of Adolf Hitler in the bunker. Now, it's all in German with subtitles, but it's absolutely brilliant. One of the best films I've ever seen. Brilliant.
The best film I saw, Tom Cruise, he played the German soldier that tried to assassinate Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah, the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie.
Yeah, that is a brilliant film. I mean, Tom Cruise is not a lot. Tom Cruise doesn't do good films, to be fair. It's one of his. He's good in the Mission Impossible films as well.
Yeah, he is. The guy that plays Hitler in this is more like Hitler than Hitler was. Bruno Ganz. I think he died there a few years ago. But oh my God, what a film! Now it's not for the faint-hearted. There's a lot of blood and gore in it, but it's a fabulous film.
Yeah. Meta Football TV. What if he doesn't want to leave, but it's rarely been sold to fund the rebuild?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think there's too much vibes coming out. I think if Harry Kane didn't want to leave, he would have said it by now. The fact that he wants to leave, he can't really say it. So it's kind of if you get what I mean.
If Levy has to sell Kane to get 2 decent centre backs, then Levy should resign. The man is clueless. Right. Look, Philip, do you want to answer this? Because I want to think about me answering this because I do want to give a proper answer.
I don't think he has to sell 2 decent. No, I don't think so. No. What I said earlier was if he does, he can invest in a higher quality of centre half if he gets the Harry Kane money. Like we're going to buy 2 centre backs regardless whether Harry Kane sold or not. But I just feel the money could be invested into maybe a leap just slightly higher. Like the man I mentioned, Laporte, and someone of that Pavard would be another good one. And well, the other guys we're looking for are good. These guys are proven internationals, obviously going to cost more, and that's used some of that money for. But I mean, we had this argument: Levy is clueless and whatever. Daniel Levy has done a lot of things wrong. We all admit that. But if he gets the transfer window right this summer, which I think he will, he deserves a bit of credit. And I know it's hard for people to give him any credit, but with the way we are, if he makes the balls up, I think we will we'll castigate him. But when he gets it right, we'll give him a round of applause. It's only fair to do it that way.
And look, we all know. Look, for me, I think Levy's in a rock and a hard place here. He's damned if he does, and he damns if he doesn't.
Yeah, he is really. Yeah.
And look, and this Scott Munn thing, this has turned into another farce as well, Philip. Where's he? He was supposed to start the same day as Postecoglou. I know, but he's seen no head.
Yeah, he seems to have gone quiet. All right. I know he worked for Citigroup, and he was having problems finishing up there. See, it all depends on the contract he had with them. Maybe he hasn't finished all the contract, the work he had to do with them, and he's been delayed.
Yeah, maybe.
Now we're a month late now. Come next week. It's time something was done.
Yeah. Carl Simpson, what the F? How could you lie to us? Have you been on the Levy course?
What?
Very funny, Carl. Let us know what you mean by that, but
it's a bit like Times crossword clue. That a bit cryptic.
Yeah, I think he's trying to do something. I don't know what he's trying. Kane has wanted out. Hotspur 82. Big up. I haven't seen you before, so big up. Welcome to the channel. Please like and subscribe. He says Kane has wanted out for 2 years now. I say so. David Clark said, I've heard Levy has sent scouts to look at centre backs at Barton. Come on, David.
No, do you know, I heard he gone to watch Accrington Stanley's 2 centre backs. One's 9'3", the other one's 4'6".
Yeah. He says the best film Tom Cruise was The Last Samurai.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Didn't see that one, actually.
It's a no return in the Kane saga. Spurs supporters have turned over. Sell now.
Yeah, I think the longer it drags on, the more the realism is setting in. He's not going to be with us next season.
Yeah, it is. Scott Munn was on the tour, but we have the contract.
Oh, that's fair enough. He was on the tour. That's fair enough. He might not have started yet.
No. Man starts in September, I've heard today. And there was a hitch with Scott Munn starting at Spurs. Not the club's fault, though, I understand.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it's to do with his previous contract with Citigroup.
Yeah. And when you said you were not really in the Tottenham press room, see you started now, Philip. See what you started. The illusion.
Actually, you know what we've got? It's Carl. We're digging a hole into Levy's office. We're digging a tunnel. We're hoping we can get away with it before we get it dug over the weekend before anybody comes back in on Monday.
Philip's looking for the checkbook. I'm looking for Harry Kane's contract.
Oh yeah.
Can we sign Philip up to a 4-year contract with Thfc till I die?
Oh god. Yes.
Talks have not been going well. Philip's agent's playing hardball. God, Mary's very hard to do contract talks with you, Philip. Playing hardball.
Oh,
here.
I know.
She wants now. What she wants you to be on 2 eggs in the morning, and salmon at lunchtime, and potatoes in the evening. All I can offer is 2 eggs and salmon. I can't offer the potatoes. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
So we'll have to come to some compromise.
So she's turning into a Arsenal fan. It's got that bad, you know.
Oh, has she?
No, not really. No.
Okay.
I always when I hear a club, this is a funny joke. You know, Groucho Marx, the old comedian back in the 30s, right? He always reckoned he wouldn't become a member of any club that would have him as a member. Work it out.
I have. You bugger. Did you say you really are on fire tonight? Whatever you drink, whatever you've had to drink, Philip, keep drinking. It's brilliant.
Oh no! I'll tell you, it's
either that.
Stuck on the train last 3 hours, so that's what I'm glad to get out of it.
Yeah, either that, or because I've let you off the leash, you feel like a new man.
It's after 10 o'clock. The watershed is good. I can do what I say what I want now. You know.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I'm just gonna duck for cover when you start. We've got the Sable team big up. It says, hi, Dermot and Philip. Hope you well. Yeah, we're grand. We've got Meta Football. David Clark. Pavard is versatile. He can actually play in 4 positions. He can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Charlie has contacted Philip about becoming his agent, I've heard.
Turned him down.
Yeah.
I always fussy who I work with.
Yeah. I always thought the Sable team says that. I've always thought Philip was involved in the Hatton Garden robbery.
Not guilty, Your Honour.
Yeah.
I was washing my hair that night.
Do you remember the film The Bank Job?
Yeah, well, that was based on that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was based on a different.
Oh no, that was based on a fact taking naughty photographs of Princess Anne or something, wasn't it? Yeah. A good film, actually. Very good film.
Yeah. It is. I actually like the film. I love the scene. Charlie is contact. Oh yeah, we've done that one. Meta Football TV, not all the same time because that's what we need. We've got Ollie saying
playing as a centre back.
Yeah, I want to be a fly on the wall when Levy discussed with the board and the buying Paul Pella. That should be fun.
That should be
Terry
good.
White. Yeah, Terry White. Good evening, gents. Good evening, Terry. We've got El Tel Cockerel. Evening, lads. Every channel you watch is doing it's not over Kane. Just let it be. Let him leave and move on.
Yeah. They're all wetting themselves over. They're all wetting themselves, and none of them really. Well, none of them really know what's happening. They're all making up their own assumptions.
I mean, yeah, that's true. And then David Clark is saying here, Beth England got 50 minutes in the World Cup. She should be starting.
Fair enough.
England won today.
Apparently. They weren't that impressive, though, I believe.
I don't know. According to Ellie, I think they're going to win the World Cup. So anyway,
a few other teams might have worked by that.
I just want to go through a bit of other transfer news at Tottenham before we get back onto the Harry Kane, because I've got a few questions to ask. We've got here the beating regarding Kane between the FC. We've been through that. Literally, planned for today has now been rescheduled. Now, Tottenham could be bolstered by a new midfielder addition this summer after top Barcelona star Kessie reportedly revealed he was willing to stop Juventus and move to North London, instead become a part of ANGE revolution. Philip, if we can get Frank Kessie, would he be? I asked Ellie this afternoon, and Ellie was a bit undecided. But do you think if we sell Højbjerg, he'd be a direct replacement for Højbjerg?
Yeah, Yeah, it'd be good replacement for him as well. Now,
Yeah.
I understand Atletico made a derisory offer for Højbjerg, 16 million.
Yeah.
Which, like, Jesus, Daniel Levy wouldn't even win that low.
No.
That's a joke. Kessie is a great player, really good player. And I see now that Juventus have been kicked out of the conference. He'd be going to one team. He'd be leaving that one team that's not in Europe and coming to another team that's not in Europe. So, there's no, I think if he wants to come, right, let's encourage him and get him in because he is a hell of a player. And he's only 25. He's young.
He is. Now, he doesn't want to go back to Italy. Juventus cannot strike a deal with Barcelona for what I'm hearing on this player. So he wants to come to Tottenham. Do you know? But are we a bit overloaded in the midfield, Philip?
Not if you get rid of Højbjerg. You're actually, it's like for like.
Yeah, but this is the problem I've got. We seem to be filling every other position we want, but not the position we need.
Yeah, but this is an opportunity really here. It's a bonus transfer, really. It's one that probably wouldn't have come up, and I think they should jump at it. The centre back thing will take care of itself. They will do that, I'm sure. But to turn down a chance to sign a player like Frank Kessie would be foolish in the extreme, in my opinion.
And this was the Højbjerg news report. Tottenham rejects 16 million bid for Højbjerg. So that was the other bit.
For his other leg. One of the bidding for his other leg.
Yeah, I know. But Philip, why have we been? We got here Kessie's 2 steps up from the Danish Viking. Look, I'd be very disappointed if Højbjerg left. I'm a big fan of Højbjerg.
So would I. But go on.
Yeah, go on. I'll let you go.
No, I'm saying, if Højbjerg left and Kessie replaced him, that's a step up. In all fairness, no due respect to Pierre Højbjerg, it's Frank Kessie is a better player than him, and I think it can only benefit the team. I think about being overlooked about centre and midfielders. Maybe we are, but look at Bentancur was out nearly for 8 or 9 months. Who's to say that's not going to happen to Basuma? He injured his foot over in Singapore, so we don't know how long he's going to be out for. So you can't really have enough. We don't want to have Maddison and Skip starting the season.
No, that's true. How would you feel?
We want Maddison, but not Skip.
No, but how would you feel if we started with Romero and Dyer in the back too as the centre back pairing?
I'd be watching the match from behind the couch. It's something I had hoped was well in the past.
Yeah. Well, who do you blame for this, Philip? Because look, again, like last summer, we started the transfer window at Augusta. We got them deals in very quickly. Madison was done within 72 hours.
Yeah.
Venom was done very quickly. Solomon, okay, there was a bit of problem between us and Donetsk. So, there was a bit of back and forth, but that's done. So why is the centre-backs taking longer? Is it do you think Harry Kane deal is holding? Do you think they're linked? That's what I'm trying to get at.
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of the price of the centre-back seems to be moving up all the time. When we first heard about Van der Ven and Tapsoba, the price was, say, 25 million and 30 million. Suddenly it's 30 million and 50 million. Yeah. So, I've always had this thing about when Tottenham Hotspur come knocking on another club's door looking for one of the players, the price goes up to 10 million. Yeah. And that's I think that's been happening again. And Daniel Levy is quite right in not paying an overinflated transfer fee. He knows what all these performance specialists. They know what a player's worth. Yeah. And okay, pay a bit over the odds if you have to, but like Arsenal, absolutely, West Ham must be laughing in their bank balance to get 105 million for Declan Rice, and we got Maddison for 40 million. But Levy's never going to pay those. And in a way, I'm glad he won't, because that would put us back in financial problems. He will get the centre backs. He will get the centre backs, but I just don't know which one.
The two I've got here. Look, we've only got 13 likes, and there is 23 of you watching. Come on, hit that like button. Go on, you can do it. Look, VD, this is the latest I've actually gotten the centre backs, Philip. VDV deal has not progressed. A fee was verbally agreed for Mickey, but Wolfsburg now want more than the original amount.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. And that's not Levy's fault. That's pure profiteering by Wolfsburg.
And
you want the money, let the player sit there and eventually they'll come back to the original price. Unless somebody else comes in.
Yeah, Tapsoda is currently being priced out of a move, buying Lubricase and one well over the player's evaluation. And then Danny refuses to pay off the odds. And look, you can't blame him for that, because if we played 50 million for Tapsoba, right, and he comes out with an absolute stinker, everyone was saying, what a waste of money, Levy.
Exactly, he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't, you know. Like we're not defending Levy here, but we're saying this is where his financial conservatism, if you like, comes into play and doesn't cost us money that we shouldn't be spending.
Look, I will go. We've got Paco there. We'll get to you. David Clark said teams who are paying more than the going rate are the ones that win trophies. So let us stay in the same mode as the last 5 years and win Boggle. I don't agree with that.
No, I don't agree with that, David. Teams, okay. What's the point in paying twice the price for a player? You know, what are you going to gain by that? You know, is Declan Rice going to win trophies on his own for Arsenal? Not a buck and hope. No chance. You pay a little bit over the odds, but no, I don't agree with that at all. I think we buy decent players, good players, right, at a reasonable price, and then bring in the likes of Kessie to, you know, bolster things up a bit. And I think we will be okay. But I would certainly, as Dermot rightly said, if we pay 20 million over the odds for your man Tapsoba and he turns to be another Davison Sanchez, who's going to get the bullet aimed at his head that day? It's going to be Levy again. Whereas buying a player for 30 million turns into be an absolute world beater, he's not going to get any credit for it. But at least we're 20 million better off.
Yeah,
than we would have been.
Yeah, big up. We've got Lee Richards saying what's certainly true is that since the Kane saga started off again a few weeks ago, it seems to have paralyzed us and all our business seems to have gone out the window. Philip, do you think, who do you blame here? Look, you got people out there saying we'll be not successful with Harry Kane gone. I mean, we'll come back to your comment as well, Lee, in a minute, because I want to answer that. Also want to answer this one as well from Paco. Big up, Paco. He says, hey, guys, thank you for coming in. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Says, sorry, I'm a Bayern fan. Well, look, you're welcome. We've got Man United fans coming in, don't we, Philip? We've got Man United fans, Chelsea fans.
Yeah.
Everyone's welcome. It is. We may be Spurs fans, but we are a lover of football as well. So we love talking to other people. He says, I'm a Bayern supporter, but Spurs should try and stick Stan Snick and Tell on loan for 2 years, plus like £50 million. And in 2 years, your guys came back and we Tell and Stan. Do you know what?
Oh, that's a bad idea, that actually.
It isn't.
Would you? A bad idea at all.
Would you?
Yeah, I mean, Stanisic, yes, and Tell.
Sorry.
I mean, you know, I'd take Tell in a heartbeat. It's whether Tuchel wants to let him go, you know. I mean, but that certainly is a good idea. And Paco, if you've got the email address of anybody in the hierarchy of Bayern Munich, would you mind sending that to them? and we'll hope Daniel Levy's watching us.
Yeah, I doubt it. And then Lee's comment here that all our business has gone out the window. Has the Kane transfer really just paralysed us completely, Philip?
Do you know what it's done, Dermot? The clubs that we hope to buy from are waiting for Harry Kane's money to arrive in Tottenham so they can absorb, as I said earlier, higher prices than were 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
that's all it is. They're increasing the price because we're going to have a few bob to spend when Harry Kane goes.
Yeah,
and it's down to that. So yes, in a way, the Harry Kane transfer has paralysed us, but that's not to say we shouldn't be doing the deals behind till it's all sorted out. There's no reason to delay it if we can agree a price.
Carl's saying we should play Tuchel, I think, at his own game. Let's see if he really is that desperate for Kane. Yeah? I know what he means. Now, Philip, the poll at the moment, Philip, is 13% for Tottenham, 4% for PSG. Man United now at 9%. Bayern Munich way out front, 74%. Now, we had this with the Bale money, Philip. It was wasted. Yeah. I can only name 2 players out of that Bale money. Modric and Lamela. No, Eriksen and Lamela. Sorry.
Eriksen and Lamela. Yeah, Eriksen and Lamela. Yeah.
Now, if Kane is sold, do you trust Levy and Spurs to spend the money right this time?
This time I do. Now, I might be naive, I might be old-fashioned, but yes, I do, because having been in a situation before with the history of what he did with the last lot, he will not want to have a repeat performance. So I think he'd be very anxious to get the right players in this time. Now, we got 7 players in the last time. That's not going to happen this time. We're going to get 3 maximum, I think.
Yeah.
I would say. We've got 2 centre-backs and Frank Kessie. I think that will be a decent window and still have change.
Do you think we're not far off? You think, look, people seem to forget top 5 gets you into the Champions League, Philip, next season.
Yeah.
Are we only a couple of players away from a really decent side?
I think we are. I mean, I know there's all doom and gloom, and even the bookies have got Spurs favourites to be relegated, which is a great laugh, absolutely, to be honest. I think it's just because Harry Kane's going, Spurs are going to collapse. From what we've seen of the pre-season so far, right, the football that we're playing is going to be a big, big surprise to a lot of clubs. If they haven't been watching, they are going to get caught out badly next season. We are going to be a team to watch. And the 2 centre-backs in place will mean we're going to be strong at the back. Like, I'm not worried about the midfield or the attack, even if Harry Kane goes. Look what we did in the second half there. I know it was only against a Singapore team, but the fluidity, the movement and the passion and the tackling back and the pressing in that second half especially, it nearly brings tears to your eyes after watching the dross we had to put up with for the last couple of seasons.
You did say, Philip, reminds you of the push and run side in a way. And
in a little bit of a way, yes. No, I'm not old enough to remember that. But
what do you mean by that, Philip? I mean, what do you mean by that? Explain on that. What makes you feel like? Is it the players we've got? Is it what Ange's system? What makes you feel like? Do you know what? I've seen this before.
Yeah, it's a mixture of both. Ange wants that type of football, right? Like if you watch Tottenham last season, Dom, and especially at that infamous AC Milan game that we went to, which I will never ever, I had nightmares about that game. I've never seen a team put up. They ran up the. Do you know when they handed over the pennants at the start of the match?
Yeah,
they might as well have handed over a bloody white flag because that's all they ever did. They did nothing in that game. It was an insult.
It was. Huh? You were in front of me that game, right? And I had the pleasure of watching you barrage that referee. It was so funny. I
was barraging the team more. What we saw that night was Spurs had passed the ball and everyone stands still.
Yeah.
Right. You watched the other night against the Sailor Boys, right? It was pass, move, pass, move, pass. Nobody stands still. No. If you watch the Spurs team, nobody stands still. They're always on the move, always looking for the ball. And that is what I want to see. And that's what's going to be such a surprise to a lot of clubs who've become used to the Tottenham way of counter-attacking. Oh, we'll have 75% possession, lads. It's Tottenham we're playing. I'll tell you, that's not going to happen next season.
No, I don't agree with that. I sometimes do agree with you, David, but this one I don't think we'll end up with 1 or 2 level 3 centre backs in the last week of the window. I think they were well in. But Philip, the question that comes out of this comment by David, and I think is a valid one. And it was said I watched Dave's show earlier, and they were talking about have Spurs set Ange to fail. It was more of a not backing him, getting the transfers in right. And it was a very good video, and I urge everyone go and watch it. But the question is still sort of that, have we set Ange up to fail because we haven't got the centre-backs in early enough for him to work with the new centre-backs? Are we too late getting them in now? Because the season's only 2 weeks away.
2 weeks to go. You can do an awful lot in 2 weeks. You look at during the players might sign for a club on a Monday and make their debut for the team the following Saturday. They have enough time. Yeah. The coaching staff have enough time to get their ideas across. And these guys are pros. They played at a high level. They will be able to adapt. So no, I don't think as long as we get them in, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Now, what I don't want to see is getting him in on the 31st of August. We need to get them in over the next week or so, and then we'll be okay.
Do you feel, look, with the Kane money that we might be getting, Philip, do you think we should go for the best defenders out there, or do you want to go for the best? Could find the bargain, say, for 20 or 30 million, and he'd be an absolute diamond. But you could spend 80 or 90 or 80 million or 70 million on the defender, and him be as he could be as good as a cow in the middle of a field. Do you know what I mean? What do you want Levy to do with it? And because we have no
upgrade slightly. Go for a better quality centre back like Laporte. Go for someone like that when you have the extra money. And I mean, let's face it, he could spend 40 million on Laporte, right? 40 million on another centre back, and he still has change out of Harry Kane's money. Yeah. You know, he'll have money coming in for Højbjerg probably. He'll use that to buy Kessie. So no, I think it might. This is paradoxically, it might end up in our favour, the fact that we haven't signed the centre backs now, right? Whereas once we have the Harry Kane money in our pocket, we might just upgrade slightly, and it might be better off for the team come the rest of the season. I mean, you need a crystal ball to see what's what, but all I do know is there will be at least 2 new centre backs in Tottenham by hopefully the start of the season. Worst case scenario in the 2 weeks that follow, but we will have them there for the bulk of the season. I hope.
Yeah, hope. Look, Carl Simpson said no decent player can calamitize to a new system after 2 sessions. I would actually disagree with that, but
no. A decent player can climatize to a new system.
Oh no. It says no. A decent player. Oh yeah. Oh sorry, I read that wrong.
It's a double negative. Yeah. No, he can't. Listen, good players can acclimatize very, very quick. Look at Jimmy Greaves when he came to Tottenham, hat-trick in his first game. You know.
Yeah. Now, this is a bit controversial. Now, I've seen Lee's response to it, so I'll bring this up and then I'll let you have your say, and then I'll bring up Lee's comment. This is a little bit controversial. Now, Philip's already writing his reply down already. I've got it in my head. So let me read out the comments, see if we've got our figures right, Philip. Bill Nicholson was a great manager, but Spurs fans have to realise that Spurs team was only successful for a very short period of time. Well, you had 4 trophies in the 60s. Am I right?
You had the FA Cup and the league in 61. We had the FA Cup in 62. We had the Cup Winners' Cup in 63 and the FA Cup in 67 with 5 trophies.
So 5, 6, and then 8 trophies.
Then we won the UEFA Cup we won the League Cup in 71, the UEFA Cup in 72, and the League Cup in 73. So from 1961 to 1972, we won 8 trophies.
73.
The last trophy, 73. Sorry, yeah. I mean, that's Bill Nicholson's record. 8 trophies I know he took over in 1958. So 8 trophies in 16 years. So that was a trophy every 2 years, right? And I don't think you can criticize Bill Nicholson about only successful. That's not a short period of time. Various teams over a 15-year period won 8 trophies.
Now, you look at that, and Lee says then, to be fair, he says, not true, David. Under Sir Bill Nick, we won trophies over a period of 13 years, from 61 to 73.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's
perfectly right. Yeah.
You look, I always say, Philip, look at the great Liverpool sides of the 70s and 80s. When they rebuilt a side, how many players did they buy? How many players every season did they buy? 1 or 2 players, didn't they?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Didn't know. Yeah. They were like when Graham Souness came in, he replaced Steve Highway, if I'm right, or somebody like that. Am I right? And that was Steve Highway.
My knowledge of the Liverpool timeline isn't great now, to be honest.
But that's the point I'm making is Liverpool always bought 1 or 2 players a season from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
They built from within, but always started with a solid backline. Arsenal under George Graham, the famous 5. You can name them off. The names run off your tongue. You know who they are. Chelsea under Mourinho always had a solid backline under Mourinho. Manchester United under Ferguson, a solid backline and goalkeeper. Peter Schmeichel, Steve Bruce, Gary Pallister, then Edward van der Sar, who I think are recently Phillips in hospital, not very well.
Yeah, he's not well, no. Yes.
I don't know.
I think he had a bleed on his brain, I think. I think that's what was wrong with. I think he's okay again, though.
Yeah, but the point I'm making, Philip, every team, even the Bill Nick side, even the Keith Birkinshaw side, started with a solid defence and a solid goalkeeper.
Yeah.
we're doing it from the wrong way round. We're doing it from the front back instead of the back front. So
we are, but we took the players that were available at the time and got them in. So I don't think there's a plan to do that. It's just the way it happened. Well, we're going to say to James Maddison, no, James, sorry, we can't sign you until we sign 2 centre-backs. That'd be crazy because some other club would nip in and buy him. You buy the players when they're available. And it's just the fact that we haven't done it in the order we should have done means we've got the centre-back, we've got the midfield sorted out. We have Thfc and Porro signed up for good. And we've got another decent winger in Solomon there. So they were available and it was right to strike and get them when they can. And then now the next part is the centre-backs.
Yeah. Would you play Porro as a winger? And so, because he's not a great defender. Would you play him as an out-and-out winger?
I don't know where he's going to play now. It's a bit of a problem with him. I know Doji can play over on the left-hand side. I'll be interested to see how Porro fits into the system now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't really have an answer for that one.
David Clark says, Laporte has tasted success at the highest level. No way, here comes the Spurs. Well, you could have said that about James Maddison. He won the league.
Laporte mightn't find he mightn't get any game time for Man City, so he might be glad of a regular spot. You know?
Yeah, but the point I'm making, Philip, Maddison was successful at Leicester. He could have gone to who else was in for Maddison?
Newcastle. Now I think we're probably fortunate in there. In fact, his girlfriend didn't want to move north. I think she wanted to come to London. That was a big help, obviously.
But the point I'm making, Philip, big players have come to Tottenham that have been successful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's not underestimate ourselves, right? No. A playing career at Tottenham is still something an awful lot of players would give the right hand for. Just because they played for Manchester City and won trophies, right, and may have slipped down the pecking order there, doesn't mean they've got their finger up their nose. They're going to. I'm not going there. If the money is right. And money is what talks in football now. If his agent tells you I can get you 90, 100 grand a week at Tottenham and regular football, he'll come.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And look, I think a lot. Look, I'm getting a bit peed off now, a little bit, Philip, with certain fans saying, oh, Tottenham's this and Tottenham's that and Tottenham's going to do this and Tottenham's not going to do that. We're still a big club. We may not have been successful. We've may not been successful over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
To be granted, one trophy in 22 years is not good enough for a team like Tottenham Hotspur or a club like Spurs. And we both know that, Philip. We're both not silly enough or stupid enough to sit back and think, oh, no, that's grand. It's not. But we're still a big club. We're still a big name. We can still attract the big players. And I'm sick of fans at the moment going, oh, Harry Kane's going. We're going to be relegated. We're going to be relegated. It's a load of bullshit. That's what that is. We need to get behind Ange and his team and support what's there. I'm not worried. If Harry Kane stays, brilliant. If it goes, thank you for what you've done, Harry. Yeah. Good luck with your future. We move on because Tottenham Hotspur will still be here after he's gone. We're not Harry Kane FC. We're Tottenham Hotspur FC.
Yeah. I'd love to see fans ditch the negativity just for a few weeks. Get behind the team. Not be moaning and groaning about this player and that player and that player. That's something we have absolutely no control. You think some of these guys think that Daniel Levy is watching our stream looking for ideas what to do with the player. They know what's going on. Daniel, they know that Eric Dyer's got 12 months left in his contract. He'll be a squad player for this year. Eric Dyer's going nowhere this summer unless he goes to Saudi Arabia, right? He'll be gone in a year. Right, but he'll not be playing much this season. It's the players that come in we have to worry about. Let's just be happy. Let's all be happy campers instead of moaning about it all the time. Please do. It's depressing to watch some of the comments coming in. Now I'm not picking anyone in particular out there, but it's just in general. There's some general depression settled over North 17 over the way things are going at Tottenham. We have a new manager in who looks like he can do the business. Let's back him. We haven't even played a league match yet, and they're already making him favourite to be sacked. Come on.
We've had it, Philip. Look, we're a shambles. We're this. We're that. Anyone thought we came up from the Championship last season and we're fighting relegation? For fuck's sake, we're Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And Dermot's laughing her heads off next to me. She's thinking Dermot's completely lost the plot. Completely. But no, seriously.
No, let's take a happy pill. Let's take a happy pill.
I'll take them every day.
Yeah.
Well, call my medication, but I take it every day.
Yeah.
Doesn't always make me happy, but no. Look, I just get pissed off with it, Philip. I rarely do.
I know, so do I. So do I. I mean, it's and listen, we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. We're moaning and groaning at various things.
Oh yeah,
Nobody's immune. But let's just say we're 2 weeks away from the start of the season, right? We've already got fans doubting whether Ange can cut the mustard at Tottenham. I have no doubt he will, because I've seen what he's done everywhere else he's been. This is his biggest challenge, and there's no doubt about it. But look at also the standard. The standard of most of the players that he's inherited is way above what he's had in the past.
Look,
don't forget that.
For me, Philip, Ange is probably the best manager since watch we're going to have. I think Ange. Do you think there's a similarity between Ange and Birkinshaw? Because Birkinshaw wasn't. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't a big name coach back when he took Spurs over in the 70s.
No, he came up from being a first team coach to manager.
Yeah, but he was at Newcastle, wasn't he? He went to Newcastle and it didn't work, that's where he came. Right. Do you think there's similarities between him and Birkinshaw?
Yeah, do you know who I see more similarities with now? Is Martin Jol.
Yeah,
Martin Jol is the one I think could actually be like. I mean, Keith Birkinshaw was great for us. Martin Jol didn't get the break, and for a guy to be sacked at half time during the Europa League matches, unbelievable. But anyway, I mean, Martin Jol had a real rapport with the fans, and he had us playing some really, really good football at that stage. So I'd say Martin Jol is the closest thing Ange has got. But one thing, never underestimate Ange Postecoglou. That guy will go through a brick wall to be a success, and he will get there.
He will. We've got Paul Shepherd. Big up, Paul. I hope you're doing well. Sorry of getting to your comments late. I'm a bit behind, so I do apologise. I'm usually a lot quicker. He says, hold on. I think this is David Clark's comment. Hold on, he says. There was a remarkable injury. Dave Mackay breaking his leg, not once, but twice. And also the great John White.
Jimmy Greaves was missing with hepatitis.
Yeah. The great John White also passed away after he got struck by lightning standing under a tree while playing golf.
59 years ago last week, that was.
Really and truly, Philip, that was the end. Once John White went, Danny Blanchflower retired, Dave Mackay broke his leg. That was the end of the
double team.
And one thing about Bill Nick, he never, ever, ever really got that double team back again. As much as he tried, he could never find it. Why was that, Philip? Why could he never recreate another double side? He recreated Great Cup sides, and European sides. He never recreated a side that went to go for the league again.
No. I know that John White was pretty much irreplaceable when he died. I mean, John White would have been the Glenn Hoddle of the 60s, basically. He was a brilliant player. We used to call him the Ghost. He used to come out. He was there. Suddenly he was there scoring goals. He's brilliant. Dave Mackay, Danny Blanchflower retired. Dave Mackay breaking his leg. That was probably the biggest blow to Spurs. Danny Blanchflower was unbelievable, and he was 37, I think. 30. No, he was about 35 when they won the title. He kept going for another couple of years. Dave Mackay's leg went. They brought Alan Mullery in to try and. They did try and make good replacements. They brought Alan Mullery in from Fulham. They brought in Cyril Knowles as a fullback from Middlesbrough, I think.
Yeah.
They brought in Joe Kinnear. So he did actually try to break that team. It just didn't work out because the likes of Manchester United and Liverpool were also strengthening, and they were the ones that were winning the title and what have you around that time,
Yeah. I started a few comments, Philip. I'm going to come to this one. I like this one. There was another one I started as well. Where is it now? I think I've started, but it's a really good comment as well. I'm going to have my say in that one. If people got nothing at all good to say about our club, I don't want to hear about them anymore. Getting relegated in 77, which I saw, was a shambles. Not finishing eighth.
I saw that too, Lee.
Look, Philip, it was the year I was born. So I was born in the year we got relegated, right?
So you're to blame we were relegated then. You're to blame we were relegated.
Yeah. Actually, we drew 2-2 with Leeds on the day I was born. Away to Leeds.
Right. Okay.
We lost 2-1 to Leeds. So I was born and Tottenham lost. What do you say?
That was a horrible season. That was a horrible season. But even then, it wasn't. I don't know, could you call it a shambles? Spurs fans at that stage, we accepted it, right? And what that did for Division 2 as it was then, right? It actually, the crowds in Division 2 were never as high as the season when Tottenham were in that league. Everywhere they went, full house, because Tottenham were a big draw. 4 years earlier, they were winning European titles. 5 years earlier, you know?
Well,
so they were a big draw.
I always want to ask you this question, Philip. From the team that got to the UEFA Cup final in 74, the team that got relegated in 77, right?
Yeah.
What do you think was the biggest thing for us having our downfall? Or was it just generally, well, as I always say, the will, it's,
change the manager.
Everything goes
Terry Neal. You can put him down to 2 words. Terry Neal went back to Arsenal when he was sacked by Spurs, saying mission accomplished. He was an absolute, where that board, you get rid of the best manager they've had ever, right? Pretty much, Bill Nicholson. And you bring, he was, he's gone. He left under a cloud. And you bring in.
One question, sorry, I don't mean to jump ahead of you, but do you think he burnt himself out, or do you think he was disillusioned with football in the 70s?
He was totally disillusioned because of the rioting in Feyenoord at the UEFA Cup final in 74. That was the end of it for Bill.
Yeah.
He'd had enough. He came up in the old school, and this was not what he was used to in soccer, so he went. But then they went when they had a great chance. Bill Nicholson wanted Danny Blanchflower, supported by Johnny Giles, to take over the club on his retirement or on his leaving, right?
Yeah.
He went to the board. The board were disgusted that he had the cheek to ask these two to take the job without referring it to them, or some words to that effect. So Bill left, and they went and appointed Terry Neal. Now, that would be a bit, to me now, that would be a bit like, I'm going to use a religious analogy here, making Ian Paisley Pope. Right? Do I make my point? So it was the worst ever decision.
I'm sorry. For me, it doesn't make it different. Making it by sleep. Holy Jesus. If that happened, the world would end for them now.
Well, it would, but it might as well, because Terry Neal went in there, and okay, he didn't get us relegated, right? It was Keith Birkinshaw got us. Keith Birkinshaw was the boss when we got relegated, but the board in the trying to make up for what they'd done 2 years earlier decided to keep Birkinshaw on board, and we had a really good season in that second division up to near the last 10 or 12 matches. Then we started bottling matches. We were losing games we should have won, and it's only the width of the crossbar at Southampton in the last game of the season that got us promoted. If Southampton had scored that goal, we would not have got promoted. We would have finished up 4th. And that means there will be no Ozzy Ardiles, no Ricky Villa coming to the club. So it just shows you, little things can mean so much to a club, you know?
Yeah. Adam, I love this comment. It says, Big Andrew reminds me of Jack Charlton. It does, actually. I actually did think of that the other day. Not in the football style, but as a man of toughness about him, and yet players love him. Now, look, Philip, you and me remember the Jack Charlton years with Ireland getting to the 88 Euro 88 in Germany, Italian 90, USA 94. The memories that you and me will probably take to our graves. I mean, me being a kid and a teenager, right, during them times, it was just, I mean, going to school. I remember going to secondary school as a teenager in 1990, right, with me Ireland top on, proud as punch, you know. I'm Irish.
and you're still alive.
Still alive. I was. You know, lots getting the stick. Oh, England gonna beat you, Irish, and all this, and of course we drew 1-1 with them. Kevin Sheedy, if I remember rightly, winning penalties against Romania. Tony Cascarino.
That was the biggest game. Oh my god!
Yeah, I remember my dad came on. We went to the pub right in St Albans at the end of the Irish pub. I think we left that pub 3 o'clock the next morning.
Well, do you know We were at that stage. I had very young kids at that stage, and we were over in Butlins in Wales, North Wales, right, for a week. And it turns out that it was mainly Irish that were there, obviously, but the match was on TV anyway. And when David O'Leary scored that penalty, right, the bar went absolutely ballistic. There was guys jumping up on the tables. There was the place nearly wrecked the place. And this poor little bar manager was going around, please get down off the tables, please. Yeah. I'll lose my job. And after 5 minutes, fuck it, he's just getting on with it.
Anyway,
but it was one of those nights. It was unbelievable.
They were great though, great years, Philip. Look, I always remember Jack Charlton and John Aldridge against Mexico. John Aldridge and him fight with the FIFA official. John Aldridge nearly decked him.
That's right. And then New Jersey,
and we also got Jack Charlton working for the water board, chucking on bottles of water, and the FIFA man chucking them off, so Jack Charlton started chucking them on harder. It was really funny. But Adam had a point. Them Irish players will go through a wall for Jack Charlton.
Absolutely. And I think the Spurs players will do the same. I think the Spurs
and the Celtic players did the same for Ange. They would go through a wall for Ange. So there is similarities there. I do see the similarities, but to be fair.
Yeah.
I really do. Just Fusion here says, Ange is a good coach, but I don't trust the organisation to do anything more for him than the others. Leaving Co are the root of the doubts and negativity. No reason to trust any of them ever.
Well, do you know what I'd say to that? And if Ange can put up a sort of a hypothetical firewall between what's going on in the boardroom and the administration side of the club and the playing side, let him concentrate on the playing side and don't interfere with him and let him get on with what he wants to do, then maybe we can actually achieve something. But if Levy starts trying to dictate transfer policy and you can buy him, but you can't buy him because he's 20 quid too dear, then Ange has got a problem. But I think Ange is strong enough. I think Ange will not suffer Levy. He'll not take any shit from Levy. That's very important.
No. David Clark says Spurs have been in the highest division in British football for 72 years since 1950. So Spurs fans have a lot to be pleased about compared to hundreds of other clubs in this country. And he
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Like if you look at look at Luton Town, right? Luton Town, who are great to see them back in the Premiership. They fell out of league football in recent years. And they were in the Premiership around the time Spurs were in the 70s, 80s. So, there are clubs that we've done an awful lot better than. And relegation is something that will never happen to Spurs again. And I'm going to say that. It'll never happen.
When was it? What was it when the parrot died or the cockerel died? When was that? There was a story of a cockerel or a parrot dying.
Wasn't the Monty Python? Wasn't the dead parrot sketch in Monty Python? Was it?
No, it was something.
No, I don't know, Thomas. I don't know.
I've dig that story out actually I actually dig it out for the podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to have to move battery from it. I've got to go and plug my laptop in. It's about to go dead. So just bear with me for a second.
Philip, so
I don't think I've even got power.
Yeah, Philip's gone. He's gone to get a battery. Lee Richards says, Phil, we have that Southampton striker who missed the goal in the last 5 minutes to thank for Ozzy and Ricky coming here in 78. Great years we enjoyed in the 80s. Yeah, FA Cup winners 81, 82. League Cup runners-up in 82, I think, as well. And UEFA Cup winners in 84. So, yeah, we really do. We've got Paul Pablo Birkinshaw, 2 FA Cups, one UEFA Cup, yeah. Now, look, why I signed Paul Pogba Tequila was on the FIFA stream. If anybody wants to know what that's about, I do FIFA stream on the channel, and I'm seeing if Ange can win us a trophy. I got him for free, basically. So, and he's still a good player. He's playing well for me. I don't play him every game, but that's why I signed Paul Pogba. Not too bad. Harry Kane and Son went, so I've started with a clean slate. And Eric Dyer and Sanchez, nobody's there. I've got Tabsoba and Van der Ven as my back two, as my centre-back pairing. Tequila, you don't want to go to Luton nowadays, Philip, trust me. Yeah.
Actually, my brother-in-law was in Luton yesterday at a funeral, and he said exactly the same thing when he came back.
There was always, when I was a kid, right, and we went to Luton, was full of Irish people. Absolutely. Yeah. It was the Irish sort of in Bedfordshire, right, apart from Bedford. Then as I got older, the Irish started leaving and all the other nationalities came in. But I've always said, even as a little kid, if you could chuck a nuclear weapon on anywhere, just chuck it on Luton. That's been the joke since I was a little boy, 3 or 4 years old.
With the damage.
Yeah. And also to the fella that has the house at the back of Luton's ground, I heard he's going away for 8 months because everyone's going to be either that he's going to start charging people cups of tea for walking through. Paul Shepherd says, don't forget, Philip, Big Morris Norman smashed his leg.
That's right. Forgot about him.
Jones was also injured for a while, and after we were the first club to win a European trophy in '63. And there's another record Tottenham were the first to do. What was that, Philip?
Oh God, first European trophy. FA Cup winners is non-league.
No. But the first English side to win 2 European trophies.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah. That's right.
63 and 72. I think we're the first side to. I think we're the first side to win 3 European trophies before. Do you know? Because of 60, 63, 70, 72, and 84. Because we won.
Only for a bench referee in 62, we would have won the European Cup as well.
Yeah, that's true. It was when Woolwich stole our place in the first division after the First World War. The parrot allegedly died.
That's it.
That was
1919.
It.
That's it. Yeah.
And Tequila says, "LOL." Philip. Yeah. Well, listen, Philip, we are going to finish up with one last question now. And look, the rest of the questions I'm actually going to leave for the podcast tomorrow night.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is one I had just for you. I'm actually going to end the poll as well. I read it out and then I'll end the poll. Philip, with years of watching Spurs from Jimmy Greaves to Harry Kane, what do you think will happen? What's your antenna telling you? And what do you see the future of Spurs this season?
I see actually a very positive season this season. I think a lot of pundits are writing us off. I think at their peril. I think they're going to be a lot of egg on faces when Tottenham get going. I think Harry Kane will not be with us, right?
No.
But we've lost players in the past. We've lost the likes of Hoddle, we've lost Lineker, we've lost Gascoigne, and we've carried on. We've lost Klinsmann, and we've carried on. So it'll be hard to replace him, but he will get there. And okay, this may be a season where we'll finish top 6, I've no doubt. Just whereabouts. I'd love to see us in the top 5. But my main hope is that we play football that puts a smile back on our faces again. And maybe just knocks the negativity a little bit so people don't have any reason to complain about things. Okay, they can complain about things in the boardroom, that's fair enough. But don't include the players in the negativity side if they're playing well.
That's it. That's all you want. And can I just say, straight vodka is great when you're doing the stream.
So my 1-year-old was telling me earlier.
Yeah. That's Irish. Start drinking young, Philip. You know that yourself. I mean, I had my first pint. I had my first pint of Guinness at the age of 6. My dad went to the loo. My mum said, "Have that there," and I drank half a pint. My dad came back, couldn't work out where his half a pint. There's me going with a smile, half cut. Tottenham were finished. Carl Simpson says, "Great show, guys. Thank you so much, Carl." And listen, everyone, please like and subscribe. Pick up your memberships. I'm telling you now. Even Derville will agree with me. She probably won't, but will. You'll get more for your buck with us than you do with Paramount Plus, Netflix, Disney Plus. I tell you what, download Movie Box. You can watch it all for free. And for the money you save from that, buy your memberships here with us and help us grow as we're on the march, as we're on the road to 2K. If you watch us grow, we don't do this for money. We don't get paid. We do this for fun. And we do this out of our own time. So we want to keep doing this. So we need to support. So come on, give us a support and get them memberships. And also, look, $2.99, $4.99, they're not enough. You pay that for Netflix. And Netflix is a load of crap. You got Philip Brady. I mean, you watched He Goes to the Warpath on his over 18 show. That's better than any Netflix program out there. But Philip, listen, the teams have finished 6. Listen, Philip, thank you so much. For coming on tonight.
Enjoyed that.
It's been a bit of fun. Now, Philip, we're back tomorrow night with the podcast. The cock clock. podcast.
Yes.
He hasn't put that in the chat, Carl Simpson, for a while. Actually,
He's saving up. He's saving it up for a special occasion.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah, we got the main man himself on with us now, isn't he? He's every week with us. We
have football royalty, Tottenham royalty coming with us.
Yeah. So me and Philip are going to now run out of the Tottenham press room. Did you get the checkbook and the credit card from Levy?
No, I'm just about to get a Kango hammer to start drilling, trying to dig in a hole here.
Okay, well, I've got Harry Kane in the back of the van. So where do I leave him? Where do I put him?
Where'd you put him? Bring him out to Mia's. You put him in Romero.
Oh dear. Do you know what? The guards are going to turn up at our place one night, Philip, while we're doing the stream.
Yeah.
The rest of us. We've got a comment coming in that finishes up. Here we go. The cock of the car, for fuck's sake. The cock.
The old ones are the good ones.
Optional times. Paul says, "Damn it, I love and hate Guinness. I was in hospital when I was younger, and the nurse gave someone Guinness to build them up for an operation. That wouldn't surprise me. Probably Pochettino as well." Lee Richards is saying, "I've seen Shivers, Archibald, Clive Allen, Lineker, Klinsmann. Not Clive Allen. He was a one-season wonder. Tomorrow, I will explain why." That's one of the questions tomorrow, actually. Was Clive Allen a one-season wonder?
You just answered it.
Yeah, he's a one-season wonder. A lot of people said, no, he's not, but he was for me. And he couldn't even hit 50 goals. He was one short at the big time. Lineker, Klinsmann, Sheringham, Defoe, Kane, Bale. We've survived. They've left us, folks. We will survive if Kane goes.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like going and put my Barry, whose songs We Will Survive?
Gloria Gaynor, is it? No. I Will Survive.
Clive Allen, good bloke, though, always defends Spurs.
He does, actually. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
And thanks for the show, guys. No problem. Now, good Philip, we'll always end up with Fred.
Yeah.
Now, this is Philip running when he sees Daniel Levy after him saying, "I want my checkbook back." And there's Mary in the background thinking, "Philip, don't give him that checkbook." Credit card.
Another bloody glass bill to pay. Yeah.
But anyway, me and Philip are going to leave the press room here at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Yes.
And if anyone did believe we were in the press room, sorry to bust your illusion, we're not. But I loved this new background anyway. I think it's
great.
Cool. It is. It really is. Anyway, listen, guys, thanks for watching. It's really been enjoyable. Back tomorrow at 9. Philip, thank you so much for coming on.
No
guys,
problem.
Thanks for coming in.
See you tomorrow.
And see you tomorrow.
On,
whatever you do, come on, you Spurs, in ANGE we trust.